KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 4, wild winter weather whipping Southern California. In Beverly Crest, mudslides pushing homes right off their foundation, forcing evacuations and leaving behind a trail of destruction.
And a similar scene in Studio City where 2 homes were severely damaged due to a mudslide, leaving neighbors picking up the pieces.
And in Baldwin Vista, a wall of mud came down a hillside and right into a woman's bedroom.
And for many, a treacherous commute on our local roads after this record-breaking rainfall. Drivers in Benedict Canyon having to navigate around mud and debris.
Rescues in Colton after heavy rain and flooding trapped some in flood channels. Swift water rescue teams had to swoop in with a helicopter to get them to safety.
And significant road damage. This is Ontario. Police there closing southbound Archibald Avenue between Schaefer and La Avenida Drive because of this sinkhole.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Juan Fernandez. Here we go. A live look at the radar right now. The relentless rain just not letting up right now. The last 24 hours, SoCal has been pounded by a consistent downpour. And if you don't have to be out this evening, it's just best to stay home. The wet weather causing problems all across our region, and there's still much more to come.
Yeah, flooding and mudslides really wreaking havoc on local neighborhoods. We have team coverage on the SoCal Soaker. Jeff Nguyen is live in Beverly Crest, where a mud flow has knocked a home off its foundation. Luz Delia Caballero is in the flood zone in Studio City.
Michelle Gili is monitoring trouble spots in Orange County, but first, let's go to Evelyn Taft, who's tracking the storm in your first next weather forecast. Ev.
Yeah, Juan, Amy, what an amazing, incredible 24 hours it's been, and not in that kind of way. Of course, we have just seen flooding all across Southern California, record-breaking rain as anticipated. And as we get a look at the big picture right here, we're still looking at rain, mountain snow, and the possibility for thunderstorms continuing. And I'm saying continuing because there are some thunderstorms to our north that could come down overnight through tomorrow. We could see thunderstorms and even thunder snow as snow becomes a bigger part of the equation. So I do want to tell you we have periods of rain, mountain snow, the possibility for thunderstorms continuing at least through Tuesday night with a possibility through Tuesday morning. We've got light to moderate rain. It's going to be common and maybe some heavy brief downpours over the next couple of days as well. Snow levels will lower each day. Mountain snow issues will increase, and we're looking at very gusty winds Wednesday into Thursday at this juncture. So we got really windy conditions last night. We're going to do it again as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. After that, showers do taper off, but right now that atmospheric river is continuing to stall out over Ventura County and over Los Angeles County. The core of the storm, though, is still situated about 150 miles west of the Bay Area, but really we are still getting the brunt of it here. We're expecting to see a lot more, and a lot of the flood issues start to move to the south. We'll have a little more on that, of course, coming up in your future cast, in your hour-by-hour forecast. But for now, I'll send it right back to you, Juan and Amy.
All right, we'll check back, Evelyn. Thank you. More breaking news this afternoon. Heavy flooding in the Sepulveda Basin.
Desmond Shaw is live in SkyCal with more for us. Des.
Amy and Juan, we wanted to take this opportunity where the clouds cleared just enough for us to get up over around Van Nuys Airport, and we found this vehicle right here, someone on Woodley Avenue here as I went down. Now you can see just how low these clouds have become. Definitely a issue here. Now this section of Woodley, I believe, was shut down. This is right in the middle of the flood basin. Look at this as I widen out how swollen the flood basin is right now. This is the LA River just behind the Sepulveda Dam. I can't remember the last time I saw it this flooded, this swollen right here. So much water, and this is exactly why they shut down Burbank and Woodley here through the Sepulveda flood basin. We did have reports earlier that they were looking for someone that may have fallen in the river. We saw LA City Fire that was overhead examining this area. They have not found anyone in the water at this point, but they did apparently come upon some clothes. Here is an RV that you see right here, pretty close to the flooding area. It looks like someone that may be living inside of that RV. There was another one on Woodley Avenue itself. The person that was in that red SUV we showed you earlier, they have been rescued. They are okay, but a very harrowing situation. Obviously, authorities want you to stay as far away from this area as possible until the rain begins to subside. Live in SkyCal overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Juan and Amy, back to you now in the studio.
Yeah, and you're showing us why there, Desmond. All right, thank you so much. Well, we continue to monitor storm damage across the Southland as this system makes its way through the region. This video showing the aftermath of a mudslide right here in Beverly Crest. KCAL's Jeff Nguyen is there live as crews work to clear significant damage. Jeff?
Juan and Amy, take a look at the trail of destruction out here. We begin with that hillside that gave way overnight. That caused the home to get pushed right off of its foundation onto the Subaru right here, and it kept going downhill, slamming into two neighboring homes. And with all of the mud flow going on, it broke apart and created this debris field, and all of that ended up burying two more cars. Shared moments once created around this family piano are now a distant memory on Caribou Lane, where a landslide pushed this home off its foundation into two others. Dave Christensen's house got hit with a wall of mud and debris.
Quite frankly, it's pretty terrifying.
The weight pancaked onto this carport, trapping two vehicles. The Davis family lives right down the hill.
My family and I, we slept in the living room last night, and then that's about when it happened.
Neighbors say the hill above them gave way around 2 a.m. Monday.
It was like thunder, like, and then the sound of trees, I thought, snapping like twigs. And it was just this house, just completely disintegrating.
Ryan Davis attends Notre Dame High School. He stayed home Monday because his family can't get their cars out of this mess.
Even if, we were able to, I wouldn't want to drive in these conditions anyways. I'm already spooked out enough by the house.
Along canyon roads between LA's west side and the valley, we found plenty of spots on Beverly Glen where mud and rocks fell onto the road. Back on Caribou Lane, neighbors say the mudslide caused a break in the gas line, which crews had to repair. The woman who lives in this home was able to get out safely with help from the fire department, while Dave Christensen's family walked out on their own after daybreak when they were able to get full view of their neighbor's house that had been leveled.
Yeah, and I feel bad because the woman who bought it was just about to start remodeling the house. So, but fortunately it was vacant, so nobody was injured.
Debris like this can be found throughout the canyon roads, which is why it's a good idea to avoid them. In addition to all of the fallen rocks and mud, the Department of Transportation may end up closing those canyon roads. For now, we are live in the Beverly Crest area. Jeff Nguyen, KCAL News.
All right, Jeff, and neighbors are assessing the damage today after a mudslide took out several homes in Studio City. Some residents still aren't allowed to return to their homes. KCAL News reporter Luz Delia Caballero is live at the scene with more for us.
Well, cleanup efforts started earlier this morning, but more of those efforts can't come soon enough. I mean, debris is lining this road. You can see several objects here that shouldn't be here. A vent, several wooden planks, and that SUV. The mudslide came without warning and packed a punch. That SUV actually rolled down with force from that mudslide. You can still see that runoff going. I mean, the rain's lightened up, but take a look at the aftermath as that mudslide went through this home. Scott Toro recalling the moment the mudslide wreaked havoc in his neighborhood Sunday night.
Sounded like a helicopter or airplane crashing.
At that time, he didn't know what was going on.
My wife and I both came out the front door, and I saw boulders going down the street, and I saw our Honda Pilot in the driveway moving.
So he quickly called 911.
And then I noticed my neighbor's car wedged up here.
Adding mud and boulders quickly blanketed the street.
Apparently what happened was the slide came through their garage and on the side of their house and took out their front porch, took out everything inside the garage.
Some of it made its way down the street because of the force of the runoff.
So you see there's like a small tree here and branches.
Wooden planks, a fence, and lots of debris piled up in front of Toro's home.
Where did this come from? Oh, it came from over there.
The mudslide sheared a gas line and caused a leak. It also damaged 2 houses and prompted the evacuation of 9 homes on this road.
Because they didn't know how stable the hillside here was.
Cleanup efforts are underway on this road as those who live here continue to process what happened.
Oh, I'm just still shaken up.
Shaken up, but thankful. At least no one was hurt. No one was hurt, but of course these boulders continue lining these streets, and community members still have a long way to go to not only heal from all of this damage emotionally, but also financially. And as this relentless rain will not stop and runoffs like this with force continue, who knows what tomorrow will bring. Reporting live in Studio City, Luz Delia Caballero, KCAL News.
The city of Los Angeles anticipated the possible record rainfall, and Street LA was at the ready. They responded to reports of 3 emergencies, mudslides, and much more. Today, front-end loaders and street sweepers were out clearing mud and other debris from the roadways. Remember, you can always call 311 to request service in your neighborhood.
Union Station looked more like parts of the Colorado River today. Check it out. Passengers were ankle deep in water in some spots due to the heavy rains. Metro and Amtrak provided passenger carts to carry passengers and luggage through the flooded areas. Staff members could be seen working to clear the water from the passageway. Fortunately, no delays were reported as a result of all of the flooding in the station.
Well, LA Mayor Karen Bass says the city was well prepared for the storm, but we're not out of the woods just yet.
Our message to Angelenos is vital now more than ever. Stay safe and off the roads. Only leave your house if it is absolutely necessary.
The mayor signed a local emergency declaration which freed up resources to help first responders. The LA City Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley, says her department has already responded to more than 130 flood events across the city, 49 mud and debris flows, put out half a dozen fires, and conducted several swift water rescues. More than 100 road crews are on the streets searching for trouble spots.
Well, all night long, we will be tracking the storm and we'll have live coverage of its impact on our communities. Remember, you can always find up-to-the-minute information on KCALnews.com. Well, coming up, homeowners at the mercy of Mother Nature.
The crucial steps that you can take that could help save your property from long-term water damage.
Expecting a lot more of that water as we get a look at radar. Heavy spots starting to materialize, thunderstorms, and snow starts to enter the picture as well. I'll have your full forecast, break down your hourly forecast next.
We're following breaking news out of the UK. Buckingham Palace says King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer and has begun treatment. The palace is not saying what form of cancer the 75-year-old monarch has, only saying it's not related to the king's recent treatment for a benign prostate condition. King Charles has been advised by his doctors to postpone public duties while he undergoes treatment. Buckingham Palace says King Charles is positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. Prince Harry will be traveling to see his father in the next few days.
And we want to get back to our storm watch coverage now. A mudslide causing significant damage to a home in Baldwin Vista.
Well, there it is. Assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. And Mike, we've talked about these slides a lot. What happened in this one?
Yeah, you know, this was in the Baldwin Vista area, and the mud just came right down into this backyard off of the hillside. And you guys, it really is crazy to look at some of these videos that are coming in out of this area. I want to show it to you here. We actually sent the photographer and our reporter out there in the noon hour to talk to this homeowner, and look at that, just the sheer amount of mud, debris, tree branches, everything that came off the hillside, and it pushed right into the home there. You see it goes right up against the wall and actually inside the home through a window and a door back there. This is some video the homeowner shared with us from inside of the home, and you can see as it pushes through. You know what's scary in all of this is she says that mud is still slowly moving. They're trying to get somebody out here to clean it up, but so far it's just sitting there.
I don't want it to breach this window. You know, it's like now I'm starting to worry because the people that were supposed to be here to tarp it aren't here yet. So I'm nervous, and I'm sure that they have people all over LA, but you know, you kind of just think about yourself in these moments.
Yeah, you know, and you can't blame her. She just wants to get that damage kind of minimized before it continues to get worse and worse. And, you know, she's going to have to deal with insurance and all kinds of other things. So one of many mud flows that are happening across the city, and this is just the latest one that we've been dealing with, guys.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, Governor Newsom has declared a state of emergency in 8 counties, including LA, Orange, Ventura, Riverside, and San Diego. LA County also issued its own state of emergency. We spoke with LA County Sheriff Robert Luna about the storm when he joined us on KCAL Mornings. Sheriff Luna is urging everyone to be safe and stay off the roads if you can.
All right, here's a live look at our LA River Cam outside our newsroom right here in Studio City. It looks like roaring rapids. Look at all that water filling the wash. It gives us another perspective of just how much rain we have been getting. And a reminder from LA County Public Works, floodwaters can often be more dangerous than they look. The county put out this informational video today on X, alerting people that 12 inches of swift-moving water can sweep away most cars. And even when the rain stops, a slippery waterway can pose a serious danger. So be careful out there if you do go outside, and if you don't have to be outside, simply stay indoors.
You know, storms like these pose a lot of risk to homeowners, everything from mudslides to power outages. Here's some advice if you experience water damage. First, locate the source. Then turn off your power if you have significant water damage. Call the insurance company. It's helpful to have your policy handy so you can go over your coverage before calling. Remove wet items and bring in fans to start drying things out. You want to dry out a space within 24 hours to avoid mold. Now, if you lose power during a storm, the DWP wants you to report it as soon as you can online. Make sure you use a flashlight instead of candles for light, because candles, of course, can turn into a safety issue in terms of starting fires. Switch off all lights except one so you'll know when power is restored. And you may need to reset your circuit breaker once the lights come back on. Keep the refrigerator closed to keep food cold. And finally, check on friends and neighbors, especially the elderly, to make sure they're okay. Well, our local mountains are starting to get more snow from this storm. This is a live look up at Big Bear Mountain, where they have not been hit quite as hard as first expected. If you're driving up to the mountains, make sure to have chains on your tires and, of course, slow down as the roads will be icy. And the storm still has some punch left.
It does, and meteorologist Evelyn Taft is tracking the storm's path right now in your next weather forecast, Ev.
Yeah, Juan, Amy, it's still stalled out over LA County, but we were just showing you the mountains, and that's going to be the next big story with this atmospheric river. We're going to start to see a lot of snow, and it's going to start to fall fast. And when we talk about rainfall totals, we talk about inches. When we talk about snowfall totals, we're talking feet. So let's take a closer look at where we are. Radar right now. We're going to zoom in, show you where the rain is, where the snow is. You'll see the heaviest rain right there over our local mountains, over the PV Peninsula as well. Now we start to get a little closer, and you're just looking at showers, but pretty steady showers, especially through the basin, the Santa Monica Bay, Marina del Rey, and as we head to Inglewood, Culver City, West LA, out into the San Gabriel Valley. We're currently looking at showers, steady showers through Orange County, from Anaheim to Orange to Panorama Heights to Villa Park to Tustin and Santa Ana. And once we head to the mountains, we're starting to see a little bit of snow, and the high desert, that's where some of the heaviest cells are falling right now. Lake Los Angeles, in the Antelope Valley, we're looking at some heavier downpours at the moment. Now let's take a look at the mountains. In Brightwood, we're getting a good clip of snow coming in right now, expecting a lot more. We're sort of just getting started in the snow department. And in Big Bear, already looking at widespread snow showers as well as you make your way up the 18 and the 38, a very treacherous commute. If you can stay off the roads, whether it's raining or snowing, that is a good idea, at least for now. So let's get a look at our futurecast. It's set for 5:45 this evening. You're going to see the heaviest rain and snow now taking place over the mountains, also over the PV Peninsula and over the coast as well. We're starting to get a little more action right there through Ventura County and Santa Barbara County. Now let's take a closer look by 9:30. That's 9:30 tonight. The heaviest rain and snow in the higher elevations right there. And we're going to start to see a little more rain come into Orange County as well in the evening hours. So the atmospheric river is going to start to shift a little bit to the south, and with that we start to get a little more rain in more favorable areas. Now take a look right here. By tomorrow morning, we're still looking at showers. We're not done with the rain. We get some of the heaviest cells right offshore, and we're starting to get heavy snow coming through Ventura County, the Ventura County mountains near the Ojai Valley. Again, snow levels won't be that low, but up to 33 we could see snow. Fraser Park, of course, always a possibility of pretty decent snowfall. 5:45 tomorrow, things lighten up a little bit, but not too much. We still could see some very heavy cells and thunderstorms through Orange County. A closer look at what to expect for the rest of your Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course the rest of the week, because there's still that chance of rain that lingers. For now, back to you.
Evelyn, thanks for that update. Up next here at 4, we'll continue our storm watch coverage. More on what damage done in the wake of all this rain.
Plus, don't go chasing this waterfall. A botanical garden is ruined by Mother Nature.
CBS News Los Angeles.
Juan Fernandez, weeknights, KCAL News.
Well, the storm has certainly made for an interesting drive into work. Check out this video behind us. Look at
It
this.
looks like waves crashing as the driver heads into Studio City. And even at slower speeds, we've slowed it down for you. The tires kicking up a lot of water, right? Well, major cleanup in one Long Beach neighborhood after a tree came crashing down and landed on some cars. That tree so heavy, neighbors say they thought it was an earthquake. It was uprooted around 10:30 last night on De Leon Street near Studebaker Road. A total of 3 cars were damaged, but thankfully no one was hurt.
In Northern California, San Jose firefighters rescued a group of people as a rising river nearly swallowed this rapidly diminishing island. In Santa Rosa, high winds gusting to 55 miles per hour knocked down trees. They crashed onto homes, causing injuries and knocking out power to tens of thousands of customers. In Santa Barbara, the waves were so powerful they pushed a sailboat onto the beach.
And what a shame here. Also in Santa Barbara, heavy rain turned an area above Mission Canyon into a waterfall. The water, this wall of water, in fact, cascading down into the Santa Barbara Botanic Garden, ruining all the plants and flowers there.
Wow. Well, coming up at 4:30, the winter weather roller coaster continues.
And I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. We're following breaking news. A man falls into the Pacoima Wash. City Fire was searching for him. I'll have an update after the break.
A long cleanup process is in store for some living in Beverly Crest after a mudslide damaged several homes, ripping at least one from its foundation. Residents and emergency officials in the area all day today keeping an eye on conditions there.
And homeowners in Studio City picking up the pieces after a mudslide slammed into their homes, ripping 2 of them from their foundations. One homeowner said the slide took out his front porch and everything in his garage. The mudslide also sheared a gas line and caused a leak, forcing the evacuations of 9 homes. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
And the storm just isn't letting up across SoCal, so brace yourself for another evening of relentless rain, flooding, and possible mudslides.
Yeah, our storm team coverage continues. Michelle Geely has her boots on the ground, braving the elements in Orange County. But first, let's check back in with meteorologist Evelyn Taft to show us how much more rain is on the way.
Amy, Juan, a lot more. I mean, we're not in the clear yet, and we don't want to let our guards down because, of course, it's starting to lighten up for a lot of us, but we still could see more rain. And now we've got thunderstorms potentially coming into the equation. If that happens, we could get some downpours, and that could cause more flooding. We still have flash flood warnings in effect for the Hollywood Hills and parts of the Santa Monica Mountains until 9 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, everybody's still under a flash flood watch through 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Rain is the story. And now snow is becoming part of the story as well. As snow starts to fall and those snow levels start to lower, a lot of that rain turning to snow above 6,000 feet. We're still looking at steady showers through most of the basin. We're going to continue to track where the rain is now and, of course, where the rain is going tonight, tomorrow, and the next couple of days. For now, though, Juan, Amy, I'll send it right back to you.
All right, Ev, thank you. We're going to get to some breaking news now. The search for a man who jumped into the LA River.
Assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. Mike, Desmond was mentioning earlier in this newscast, so what's the latest here?
Yeah, you know, Juan and Amy, we just got an update from the fire department. The reason that man jumped into the river is because his dog apparently went in there as well. Now, Desmond had told you earlier that they were able to rescue that dog, but we're still searching for him after they found some clothes. We just got some new video from LA City Fire. I want to show it to you here. This is them actually conducting that rescue. You see the rescuer there being lowered into the wash, and you see that object back there that appears to be the patient. Now, with the help of that helicopter, they were able to lift that guy out and ultimately take him to a hospital. But I want you to look at how fast that water is moving. There is a little bit of rotor wash in there from that City Fire helicopter, but still moving very, very quickly. And, you know, it's hard to tell people not to go after their pets because, of course, they're so loved. But this is exactly what happens when you do that. You yourself become a patient. Fire department having to rescue both that dog and this person. I want to show you some other video from KCAL because what they were doing, we saw Fire 4 here, I believe that's actually Fire 1, that was searching the rivers. This is happening in the Pacoima area, all the way up in the north end of the valley. That video video was taken in Van Nuys. They actually flew over the river in our Studio City area here looking for that person as well. So the good news is the dog is okay, taken to a local veterinary hospital to be checked out, and the man is okay, also taken to a local hospital to be checked out for cold-related injuries and being wet and all of that. But the good news, the dog, the man were rescued, but again, don't go into the river after your pets. Just call the fire department.
I think we all remember that case last year, Mike. Remember that dog and the owner just went right by our studios.
And a good
here.
Samaritan tried to jump in,
That's
and
right.
it just turned into this whole thing. So it's just best to call 911.
And here it is again. All right, Mike, thanks. Well, the storm has not hit Orange County hard as some areas. There has been some minor problems there, though.
Yeah, and there is an evacuation warning up in some canyon communities.
Our Michelle Gili has been checking things out all day long. She's live in Sunset Beach. Michelle.
That's right, you guys. You know, we've had steady rain since yesterday, but fortunately no major issues like we're seeing in LA County and other places. Behind me here, however, is one major road closure that people need to know about. This has been going on all day today in between Warner and Sea Point, Pacific Coast Highway. For those of you familiar with this part of coastal Orange County, you'll know that this area floods quite frequently, even in the smallest storms, and that's of course what has happened here today. We managed to come through because we are news media and allowed through, and we saw a few fairly large puddles, but it seems to be dissipating the water here. But we have been traversing the county, and here's a look at what we were able to find today.
More of the same in Seal Beach.
An afternoon downpour flooded Marina Drive just off of PCH and Seal Beach. The owner of Devon's Garden took video outside of his store. The situation wasn't nearly as bad as the flood in the same spot last week that inundated nearby businesses and homes. Down the coast in Dana Point, 2 days of rain has made for soggy camping at Doheny State Beach. Some of the spots are under a foot of water.
People leaving, you know, because of the torrential rain that we're experiencing. For us, people with tents, so that's what we've been seeing the last 24 hours.
Aliso Creek was raging as millions of gallons of stormwater flowed into the ocean in Laguna Beach. Despite the wet weather, people put on rain gear and checked out the surf.
It's been a lot of rain. I came down to see how much water we're getting out of the creek, and see the waves. So just wanted to get out of the house because it's been so rainy. Yeah.
Late Monday in Silverado Canyon, emergency crews rolled to Sleepy Hollow and Shady Brook Drive, where a large tree fell in a neighborhood, taking power lines down with it. There are no reports of injuries. As the storm hangs over the area, a voluntary evacuation order is still in place for Silverado, Majeska, Williams, and Trabuco Canyons.
The creek just started going last night. Not too strong. It's flowing down nicely, but yeah, it hasn't been too bad. Obviously, it's getting a little muddy up here.
Orange County Public Works has all kinds of equipment staged in the canyons at the ready, just in case there are any sort of mudslides or debris flows there. So far, so good. However, no idea when Pacific Coast Highway will open again. This is through the Bolsa Chica wetlands connecting Sunset Beach, where I'm standing, to Huntington Beach. So you just have to take other routes to make your way around it. I also just got a message from Newport Beach Police. They're saying that more than one of their 911 lines is down. So if you need anything in that area, you're instructed to dial 911 first. But if not, if you can't make it through, then call the non-emergency line. That's the very latest in Sunset Beach. I'm Michelle Gili. Back to you.
Information, good to know. Michelle, thank you. And we're going to be updating you throughout the evening right here on KCAL News. We also have links to help you prepare for resources like sandbags and emergency supply kits. It's over on our website, kcalnews.com.